recording?
Yes, I'm recording.
Are you
Yes.
sure it's recording?
Yes. Are you recording?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Always, because we can't have another one of those
Yeah.
maybe possibly things going on. All right. Okay. All right, everybody. Welcome back. We are in episode 2 of our season 2. Thank you guys for listening so much. This is Show Me What I've Been Missing. As you know, I am here with my lovely friend Elizabeth Stanton, and we are covering episode 2 of season 2 of Sex in the City, The Awful Truth.
We synced up. We're season 2, episode 2, and their season 2, episode 2. It's all coming together.
The way we
By the way, sorry if I'm on mic, but sorry if I'm slightly echoey. I moved, and if you're watching YouTube, you'll notice it's a different background. And I have no furniture.
She says it's an apartment, but it's really a mansion. We just don't want to flex on it.
It's the manse. Sorry.
Super huge. It's literally like 6 houses in one. I don't know if you guys realize that this podcast is really doing big things for us. We've been trying a whole, Spotify deal like Joe Rogan. We got 50 million a piece. So
no, it means that we have to move to Austin to avoid the taxes now.
We gotta take these masks off. You know what I mean? So, what'd you think of this episode? How'd you feel? I mean, watching it again now for you, I should say.
Oh, this is one I have seen like on cable or off and on. This is another one where Carrie probably should have called the police, but
Wait.
on the abusive husband.
Oh, I was like, I thought you were talking about for Mr. Big. I was like, he just.
Oh no, he was. All things considered, relatively fine.
Okay. I was confused for a second. I was like, because I don't like Mr. Big, but like.
No,
I don't think he deserves to have the cops.
No. He's not that bad. But the man that her friend is married to.
Oh my god, dude!
Is a fucking psycho.
And I'm trying to figure out too, because like I mean,
and the worst part though is that Carrie was like, well, at least she's married. Because Carrie was like, I don't want her to dump him on my advice, and I'm like, Carrie, your friend is calling you, whispering into the phone,
right,
and apologizing for her husband, and then he wakes up and makes noise, and she's like, I have to go, and hangs up. That is an abused woman.
Right.
Tell her to pack a bag and come over. Get her to a shelter. Do something, Carrie, because this woman is
clearly
in a
like
horrendous situation. Yeah. And the worst part is she goes back to the guy at the end.
Well, that was my thing too, because like I was, at the beginning, because like at the beginning of the episode they show them, hanging out and then come back to the house, and this guy is just like over the top mean, like really mean, and I'm just trying to figure out like how do you marry a person like that, like because he's got to, like, you guys have got, like, unless you like got married on like the first night that you met. There has to have been signs, like he didn't just start out like there's no way he like came in to being an asshole like that. You know what I mean? Like it had to have happened gradually as you guys were dating. And like at what point did you say this is the one for me? Because
I think it's also being presented to us as like semi-classic like bickering couples that are married but they hate each other. And Carrie even says like, oh, is all the fighting foreplay? And I'm like, no, I think he's gonna fucking hit that woman. I don't know. I thought about that
too, because I've actually and this is no bullshit. I wrote that down because I've actually known a couple that would like, no shit, like I was kind of their starter pistol for their sex.
Oh Jesus!
You know what I mean? Like, like I would come over and be hanging out with my boy, like watching the game or some shit like that, and like they would end up picking fights with each other and then make me pick a side, and I would feel weird and I would just leave, and then like I'd see my boy the next day and I'd be like, hey, everything take care of it, like, and he'd be like, yeah, we made love, blah blah blah, like we're good, we're back on it. So basically it was like,
oh my god,
their aphrodisiac. They would try to get a fight going just to like, get it going. And they're divorced now.
Awful. Okay.
They're divorced now. Yeah, they're divorced now. But that was kind of their pattern. Like they would basically fight, or they'd be in a fight before I would get there, and then you could just like feel the tension, and it would be like little snide remarks, like little jabs at each other, like on the low, but you could obviously tell that there was something not right.
I know everyone says toxic a lot, but that is literally toxic. Like
that's like
that's the actual
side.
definition of toxic.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, like that's not an exaggeration.
Right.
That's like, yeah, that's what they're doing in the show, and it's like, but I mean, I feel like she's gonna leave him again, or he's going to actually like fucking axe murder her in that house or apartment rather. You know, or he's killing people on the side. I don't know. It's it was alarming. I have so many all through my notes. It's just this. Carrie, your friend is in trouble. Carrie. Because after that first scene where the husband screams at Carrie and she leaves, and Carrie gets back to her apartment, she says, I wondered, could Susan's marriage be that bad? I was like, I wrote, yes, you dumb bitch. Holy shit. Like,
but that's, you know what but the thing about it is though, like, at first I was low-key mad at Carrie. I was like, you're not a good friend. Like, you need to get your friend out of this situation. But then I realized through looking back on past episodes and up until now, she ain't all together herself.
No, Carrie is not a good friend in general. I wrote down that I guarantee. So this Susan, who has like works for like a cashmere company or whatever, gave Carrie like a really nice piece of cashmere.
Yeah.
And I guarantee Carrie has never given that woman a gift.
But in her defense, you're probably right. You're 100% right. She probably has never given that woman any gift.
Never given that girl a gift, ever.
But in her defense, she probably hasn't done it because like she's afraid of anything that she might give to her that she like has to like hide because her husband.
Right, because like the husband might be like,
"What man bought you this? Who did?"
What scarf? Oh, is this a scarf? Oh, and then kills her.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, like
the weapon
like,
is
if
the
it's
scarf.
something that he doesn't approve of.
Right.
I mean, he probably like if anything he doesn't approve of, like probably flip out and go crazy and be like, "Who bought you this? Was it some guy or why?"
Yeah.
He seems like a guy who needs to have like complete control over everything.
Yeah, it's so like, I can't believe this was like being played for laughs in 98, 99.
That's the wild thing. Yeah.
So horrifying.
If this was now, like this would be a drama show about like a toxic relationship trying to get out. Like this would be on Lifetime, this episode, not
right. You know what I mean? And then they get back together because they have like the evil dog that won't behave, and that's what like makes them happy together. That's so fucking. I hope they never have a child. Oh my god.
Yeah, because literally all that dog was just like a vessel for him to channel his rage into. Instead of her, he puts it on the dog, and it's like, that's not cool either, bro.
That's terrible too. Like, oh my god.
Yeah,
because I wrote down at the end, I was like, oh, they're back together. Oh my god, they need therapy.
Right.
Go get therapy.
That's the thing too. Is like you were saying earlier, like this guy, if he's abusive like that, you know what I mean? Like at what point does he like harm the dog, and then when that doesn't satisfy him, he probably moves on
to people and his wife. Yeah. Well,
yeah,
it's fucked up.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Yeah, it was weird.
It's so weird. Also, it's so weird that like Carrie tells that story at lunch the next day, and they're like, "Oh, don't get involved in a relationship like that." And like,
also too, when they were, you know what though? But that's, you know what the thing about it was that was actually very poignant when they were talking at the dinner table or the lunch table, and I believe it was Miranda that said, don't tell her to break up with her husband because if you're right and she does it, it's your fault. And if she doesn't do it, she can't talk to you anymore. I was like, that's so fucking true because
that's true. I think in normal circumstances,
but
this is an extreme circumstance.
Extreme. Yeah, in this case,
but generally,
I believe him would have been the right thing to do, but she's not wrong. But Miranda wasn't wrong because I've been in situations like that where I've told friends like, this person is not good for you. They're ruining your life. You're not happy. You need to do something about it. And then like, you know, they break up and they are happy, but then like if they start feeling lonely again, it's kind of your fault. And then if they don't break up, you do end up losing that friend because they know in their heart that they shouldn't be with this person, but they're like too stupid to get out of the relationship.
Yeah.
So they just stop talking to you because they know that you're gonna come with like judgment. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that was like so like nail on the head that I had to pause for a second and really take it in. I was, I just it was so that was like good crisp knowledge right there.
I mean, luckily none of my friends have like dated any duds that they've like stayed with.
Yeah.
Beyond where like you would kind of hope they wouldn't. I have several married friends now, and their dudes are cool. So like, I'm kind of lucky that I haven't had to like get involved in that at all, that kind of mess at all.
That's lucky for you, man. It's not like it's happened a lot, but it's been a few times.
Right.
And there's some people that like I go back and think of some of those situations that I faced, and I'm not friends with said person anymore. And some of them it's one of those things where it's I know if it wasn't for that relationship, we would still be friends, and I kind of miss them. And then I know there's other ones where I knew we wouldn't be friends anyway, so it kind of makes sense that they're still with that person because you could tell that they just weren't in the mindset to better, for lack of any better words. They just weren't. They couldn't they don't know how to get out of that pattern. There's a pattern that these people have. Like this woman, like you see her going back to him, like that's a pattern. You know what I mean? Like she probably the guy she dated before her probably abused her in some way. Maybe physically. Even
who knows?
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But that's probably a pattern. Like she probably has a series of guys she dates that treat her like shit, and she's kind of used to that behavior. And so a nice guy who probably treats her well and loves her unconditionally and really shows her what true love is, she probably runs way away from that kind of guy. Not used to that. That's not what she knows. Like it's unfamiliar, and it probably makes her uncomfortable, probably gives her heebie-jeebies, and she can't handle that. So that's why she's stuck with.
Because she was flirting with Big's friend at Carrie's birthday dinner, and he told her to shut up, or he said, "Don't you ever shut up," and that like was like, "Oh, I love my shitty ex." And
she low-key got turned on, not by him per se.
Yeah, but just like the sweet memories of being screamed at all the time, I guess.
But also, going back to what I said before, it's a pattern. The first guy that she talks to after she leaves her husband is that same guy. Maybe not the way that he yells at her, but like he's still abusive because like you just met this girl and immediately you're saying, "Don't you ever shut the fuck up?" Like that's not something you do within the first hour of meeting somebody. If anything, you just ignore them or try to like converse with other people at the table, not have to speak to them personally. But to say just shut the fuck up, like that dude is totally her type.
Yeah,
she was drawn to him like a motherfucking magnet.
Yeah, like a moth to a flame.
Moth to a flame, baby. She was like, "Oh, this guy, all fucked up, drunkard, just broke up with somebody." Oh yeah, my type.
She was like, "Ooh, yes, please." But back to that lunch, they wrap up talking about the friend in distress. They're so good. They're so kind. I love them. But they get to Miranda has the guy who likes the dirty talk, and the best part of that scene is Charlotte saying cock and other dirty stuff, and they are like,
I've been not saying this in like it was like maybe it's like fourth or our fifth episode. I'm telling you. She is low-key a freak. And that's why she's been dumping all these guys who are freaks too, because it reminds her of who she is deep down inside. She wants to be conservative, get married, white girl, but she is a filth ball. Like all it would take is for like the right guy to convince her. She probably would do porn. She is filthy. I know she
would. she's a on the download freak because she just was rattling that all off like no big deal, and they were like, Charlotte.
Well, because remember, too, end of season 1 in the bathroom stall when Samantha was talking about the guy that she's with with the small penis. The first thing she says was, "Well, is he good with his mouth?" This ain't no conservative girl. No conservative girl is gonna ask that question. She was the first one to rattle off. And even then, we go back to this episode. They're at lunch, and she's talking about the dirty talk. She's like, "Oh, what's wrong with that? Just do it."
Yeah,
like please your man. I'm like,
yeah, she's a big old freak of the week.
I mean, let's be honest. I this might be a spoiler, but I know she's the only one that ends up getting married. So I mean, there has to be a balance somewhere. I don't know.
She fights her that. I mean, I wouldn't say the marriage is freaky per se, but she fights with that wilder side, and really forces the marriage, like traditional part a lot.
I bet. I mean, that's how it always is. Just like gay politicians, they always fight hard against gay marriage, and then they're secretly having like the biggest, wildest, nastiest gay orgies in the planet.
Kind of a lot of the time, yeah.
Like the most raunchiest club. Somebody takes a picture, and they're like, "Oh."
Yeah. What was that guy had? I can't remember which, because there's been multiple, but there was the one guy. He would like tap other men's feet in like bathroom stalls, like, and he claimed he had a wide stance when he was peeing, but really he was just sneaking his leg under the stall and tapping the foot of the guy next to him to like signal, whatever.
Like a signal.
I can't remember which politician that is. Oh well.
Probably all of them. Probably most of them. Like, let's be honest. Like that's so prevalent in politics. It's how many gay, like, we haven't had, now there's official like gay politicians and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. But like, let's be honest, they weren't the first. They're just the first ones to be proud.
Yeah, to actually be out and be comfortable like being out.
50 more at least that we just ain't heard about yet. They just have the right, PR people, the right secretary that covers all that shit.
The right bankroll to keep people quiet.
But you know what? Now that we're talking about Miranda right now.
Yeah.
Where is Skip?
Right.
Where is he? Because I'm pretty sure
was he in the last episode?
No, he was in the episode where we left off with them.
The finale.
Last episode of season 1.
Yeah.
They were low-key like rekindling the flame. And then episode 1 and episode now 2, nothing has been said about Skip. What happened with him? Where he at?
He got his heart shattered again by Miranda.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, that's obviously it. But like, she, they haven't spoken of it in the episode, but clearly she ain't giving a fuck because, we haven't seen, she hasn't even spoken about like what happened with them that night. You know what I mean? Like, there's no there's nothing. There's nothing. We don't know. Like,
I just can't believe Skip ruined his relationship with that like really nice girl for Miranda.
Nice and hot girl. That
was nice hot girl, yeah.
Totally into him too. Like he was ready to fucking take on that last name. I don't know what his last name is, but whatever it is, she was ready for it.
Yeah. Oh well. He had the future Mrs. Skipper right there, and he threw her away.
Which is hilarious because, although I'm not really feeling Miranda still right now, I low-key understand why she was uncomfortable with this dude.
Yeah.
With dirty talk. Because here's the thing. Clearly, this dude watches a lot of porn because, it wasn't just dirty talk; it was also narration.
That's what I wrote down, narration too. I was like, "Oh, he's narrating,
right?
It's a fucking Blue Planet special.
Yeah.
What the hell's happening?
Why are you breaking down what you're doing to me? I can feel what you're doing. If you're kissing my neck, I know you're kissing my neck.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell me you're kissing my neck. I feel your lips.
Yeah."
Why are you breaking it down play by play? Were you a fucking John Madden over here? What's going on? Like, Jesus, you know what I mean? Like that part is a turn. Like, I can understand that that's too much. Like, clearly, this guy on his free time, if he's not working, he's watching porn because that's a very porn mindset to talk that dirty. Because like, not everything is that hot, and the fact that he was like getting more turned on by when she was being dirty, it was like, you clearly watch too much porn. Like that's kind of a red flag in my book.
Yeah, I think he's got too many and weird expectations. But then I love that. She blows it by bringing up the finger in the ass.
Right, but that's her regular pattern, right? Because remember with she always like
she goes a little too far,
right?
Yeah.
Like she always oversteps the boundaries that are set, right? Just like you who like watching spanking videos, she spanks them without even like really letting them know that she knows he's into it, and that crosses the line, and then she like takes it too far with this guy.
But this was, I think it was accidental. I think she didn't mean to cross the line.
Yeah,
when she said it.
With the spanking guy too, like she didn't mean to. Upset him. She thought it was gonna, reinforce his feelings and make him feel good. But clearly, she didn't read the room, and she didn't read the room with this guy. Like,
and just boom, torpedoed that. Like,
I mean, come on, how you gonna listen? I don't know any guys that like a finger in the butt, but if they do, you don't say it out loud. Like, just do it for them. You know that they feel a little weird about it. There's like this, toxic masculinity that's surrounding us. Like, if I like a finger in the butt, just do it. Don't.
But it hits a certain spot, doesn't it?
I don't know.
I think it does.
A girl tried it one time on me, like out of nowhere, and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she didn't.
I was gonna say it hits a certain spot for some people. Right. Clearly not everybody. Yeah, and that's fine.
I'm comfortable with my sexuality. Like, like I'm not. If I like the finger in the butt, I would say it right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, you can't just go in.
You gotta tell people what you're doing.
You can't even move it up. She didn't even put. She just went bow. I was like, oh, we just violating here. Okay, that's what's going on. Like, clearly she was trying to get back at somebody. I don't know why I was the receiver of revenge, but.
And then, speaking of couples breaking up, Samantha finally dumped James and his tiny penis.
Yeah, but you know what though? It was foul, but I also commend her for trying.
She tried so hard. Yeah, she
tried everything.
I don't even. It's so funny because she does get in relationships later in the series, but like I completely forgot she was in this, and this went on so much longer, so many more episodes than I would have thought for this early in the season and getting to know Samantha. So that's really interesting to me that it lasted as long as it did.
Dude, I mean, for what I know about Samantha to this point, that was some serious effort that she put in. And she tried walking them through it. She tried teaching them things that could do to please her. Like, she literally tried it forever, and even when she went back to complain about it to her girlfriends, there was still hope in her eyes. Like, she wasn't just over it. She's like, I love this guy. He's a good guy for me. He just has a small penis. I'm gonna try to make this work. And she tried everything. So
yeah, she even went to couples counseling, which she didn't really want to do. She doesn't like it. Right. But then that was funny when she finally he's like, you can tell me anything, and she's like, fine, your dick is too small. And then he's like, maybe your vagina is too big.
That's such a typical guy.
It's just such a guy thing. And not physically possible.
Right.
A reminder.
Unless she had just had a baby, then maybe there might be more space.
Other than having a baby, your vagina cannot get stretched out from too much dick. Sorry to disappoint.
In pornos, they say that.
I know we've all heard the throwing a hot dog down a hallway joke. Not a thing. Not a real scientific physical thing.
Facts. No, that's facts.
Like, just can't happen. Sorry.
It's a big vagina. That means you have a tiny dick, my guy. If vagina's too big, you got a small dick, Taylor.
Yeah. Sorry. It's a muscle that expands and contracts.
It literally
to fit the vessel. Whatever.
We'll say vessel.
Vessel sounds nice. I mean, we already said cock earlier, so who cares?
It sounds scientific. We'll go with
I hope my new neighbors can't hear that.
Nah, fuck
I need some sound deadening stuff.
They don't even know what you're talking about. Maybe you're watching porn. Who gives a shit?
Who knows? Who cares?
Like
I didn't realize I am a corner unit though, so I really only share one wall, which is very nice.
Look, so we're talking about the guy who talks dirty. I mean, That was weird, but I've seen weirder. Like I actually knew I lived with two couples right out of high school, and one of the couples they would have full on conversations while they had sex.
Oh my gosh,
Like
that's weird.
Like us having this conversation right now,
Yeah.
that's what they be doing while they have sex. Like they'd be like talking about like how was your day? Oh, what did you go? What happened today?
We should pick up chicken for dinner.
No, I'm sitting those conversations like because like I understand that maybe it was a masking thing, so like they didn't want people to know that's what they were doing, but that's just fucking weird, bro.
Yeah,
like just make the sounds or like don't say nothing. Like just cover your mouth if y'all gonna, if you're worried about other people hearing y'all have sex. Like don't have a full on how's your day? What are we eating for dinner tonight? Let's go to fucking botanical gardens next weekend conversation. What's good? Like that's not even sex anymore. Like that.
Yeah.
That's something else. I don't even know what you call that. Like that's routine.
So
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess routine.
Yeah.
Oh, I laughed super hard though, like when they broke up in the therapist office and he storms out and Samantha's like, look, I just like a big dick, and the therapist was like, amen, sister. I don't no judgment here.
No, that was the that was one of the funniest, like, because the therapist was so sincere, like it wasn't like oh I hear you, like no, they're not wrong for that. She was just like, no, bitch,
I hear you, yeah.
And she's like, there's nothing I could have done here that would
right. Yeah, once that came, that
it was almost like relief in her eyes, because I feel like when she was like trying to talk to them, she was like, oh, this is gonna be a lot of work. And then when she heard small dick thing, she was like, oh, then it's not that.
She's like, it's not a communication thing at this point. It's just physical.
I didn't need to be here for this. Like that was.
Although she helped facilitate. She did
kind of like help with the breakthrough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the breakthrough to help them move on to bigger and better things. No pun intended. Stop it. I did not mean to.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I did. It
might have been on a subconscious level, but
it was a Freudian slip for sure.
She said bigger and better things. Clearly, someone else here is a size queen. We're not just the men. And she didn't deny it. Listen, see the lies. Oh, I wish you guys were. If you're not watching,
this is empty. This drink is empty. It was pointless.
Even more evidence.
Well, speaking of
that, I mean, I feel like it's like, look,
you like what you like.
Yeah, well, no, it's not even that. It's just like, okay, look, at a certain point, it's small is small. Like you can't really do much with small. Like if you don't even feel it working, then you know what I mean. Like what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like If she could have did for him was like, hey, go get a penis implant or something, you know.
Yeah.
And he probably wouldn't have, because no man wants to hear that his shit is small. That's like, go do something about it if it's true, because then that makes it more true if he has to go get an implant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Speaking of Big, he sent Big sends Carrie flowers for her birthday, and then she calls to thank him, and he's like, "Oh, my secretary remembered." Oh, brutal.
But you know what though? That was brutal, but he wasn't trying to be a dick. He literally it was like a slip. Like he didn't mean to say that, and like came out like in his head before it came out, you could tell like he was just trying to tell the truth, but like it seemed kind of mean.
Because I mean, like nowadays, everybody's Facebook is everybody's secretary reminding you of when people's birthdays are. If you're still if you're still friends with exes or whatever, or former people like that on Facebook. That happened to me earlier, a month or two ago. I was like, oh yeah. Well, all right. Well, don't fucking contact him. Okay.
Right. But you know what though? I gotta give credit to Carrie, because like, yeah, the flowers was weird and it was kind of awkward, but you know what she did that was very important to me. She still thanked him.
Even that was nice
between them, and it was awkward, and things are not necessarily where she probably wants them to be. She still had enough politeness in her as an adult to thank him for the flowers. I appreciate Yeah, you know what I mean? That takes a big person, especially with how she's feeling and things of that nature, with how the relationship ended. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
yes, maybe part of the reason why she thanked him was because she still had feelings for him. But at the same token, even if she didn't, the fact that she did thank him is kind of just a nice gesture because he did give her
Yeah.
a gift, no matter what. Even if he was the biggest douchebag in the world or he was like hella abusive, you can still thank somebody for a gift. A gift is a gift.
Yeah, you don't have to thank your abuser for a gift though.
No, you don't. Not that abuse.
But then
He didn't really abuse her, so I mean,
no. I'm thinking of the friend and her
yeah,
shitty
yeah, yeah.
husband.
If they got divorced and stayed divorced, and he brought her a gift and she didn't thank him, totally
Yeah.
within her rights because
Yeah.
that was he's a piece of shit. But like, big was it? And that's my thing too. Like, it kind of affected me a little bit because like low key, I've given exes gifts after we broken up.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, even if you're not necessarily happy with me, that's still a nice thing to say. Like if I'm still
It
giving
is
you
nice.
a gift, like even if in your head you think that me getting you the gift is like another way of like trying to get you back, it don't matter because you can still just say, hey, thank you. I don't want you to think that this means anything, but I just want to thank you for the gift. That's still
Mhm.
that's still reasonable. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it may make it may not make the person feel good if the gift was a way to get them back, but at least a thank you is something. At least you just recognize me as a human being that gave you a gift. That's
Mhm.
nice. You
Yeah.
know. Sorry, I just went on
Um,
a whole tangent.
no, it's fine. Because then she takes it a step too far and was like, "Why don't you come to my birthday?" And she immediately regrets it after she hangs up. And he says he's gonna bring a friend, and she thinks that means a date, and then she's
Yeah.
all wigged out about that. But then he shows up with a male friend, and she's like, "Well, welcome to the party, pal."
I mean, to be fair, her inviting him to the party is like a panic move
Yeah.
because she wasn't even sure she wanted to call him and to even like acknowledge the fact that she got the flowers. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And and then she just started talking, and all of a sudden, like she just got flustered because
Yeah.
she still has feelings for the guy, and he's just his voice still flusters her. So the fact
Yeah.
that, and also too, they broken up. I mean, what 6 months ago or something like that?
Yeah, shoot, I don't have my notes from the last episode, but yeah,
So
it's been a few months though.
it's been at least 6 months at least, right?
Yeah.
So if you ain't spoken to somebody in 6 months and all of a sudden there's a gift from them and then you do decide to contact them, you're probably gonna be thrown off. Like you're gonna be
Hmm.
your brain is gonna be all over the place, especially if you still have feelings for the person. Like
Yeah.
so I kind of like at first I was like, why would you invite him? But then I was like, well, okay, I I understand. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I have done that. The person didn't show up, but I was talking to them about like I think a stand-up show or some other
Uh-huh.
comedy thing, and he was like, "Yeah, I'd love to come," and I was like, "Okay, well, I'll tell you," and then I did, and then he didn't ever respond, and I was like, "Okay, I'm like, well, you
Yeah,
fell for the classic blunder, Stanton. Way
yeah.
to
I
go."
feel you. I've done that too.
He's being polite. He
Yeah,
had zero intention of ever coming to the show.
right. And that's
Um,
one of those things too, where it's like it almost is kind of, if I remember the
that's on me. I should have caught on.
but here's the thing too, like if you're, if they're, because like
I
they
did it 3 times before I learned. Okay.
okay, that I can't
Nope.
for that like more than once or twice, 3 times, all right, now
Fool me. Can't
that's,
get fooled
that's
again.
way too many. That's way too many times for me.
Yeah, I know.
Yo, that's funny. No, because I get it. If you're talking, you're having a conversation with somebody you haven't spoke to in a while, especially somebody that you used to be like an intimate relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just talking casually, trying to keep it light, and you're like, oh yeah, this is what I'm up to, this is what I'm doing, and like you do kind of feel that social pressure to
Yeah.
invite them, even though you really don't want them to come.
Yeah, like the stupid
And
the stupid part of it was like we were talking about in the moment, and then I bothered to go send him the info on like Facebook,
right,
and I
yeah.
was like,
Well, that at least, and that's why like I don't want to do this because I still am not really fond of Mr. Big, but like low key, that was still nice of him to like not make her feel weird about it, and also to like
yeah,
to show up. He didn't have to show up. That could that was probably super awkward for him too as well because of things that they just went through,
yeah,
and the fact that he still came and didn't bring a girl to it either.
yeah. But he did enjoy those belly dancers.
Damn it. I was hoping you wouldn't bring that up.
No. How could I not, sir?
I was hoping, because I'm still trying to give my man points, but he did enjoy the belly dancers a little too much.
Yeah.
But to be fair, that was an awkward situation, so he was probably just trying to avoid as much like conversation.
Right, because he was like on the one end of the table getting the belly dancers, and everybody else is on the other side of the table basically going, what the fuck is he doing here?
Right. Yeah. Like, and I'm sure, like, even though they're across the table from each other,
he knows
what the friends were saying, like, why is he here? What are you doing? This is stupid, blah, blah, blah. And he's probably thinking in my head, that in his head too, like, what am I doing here?
What am I doing here? I better just keep putting money on these belly dancers.
Yeah, like, because if he wants to be with her or whatever, that's one thing. But if he doesn't, then he's sending mixed signals by showing up. Because clearly, you know, what other reason would she invite him to her birthday if she didn't still have?
But I think she made a smart move for herself though too. At the end, when he was like, "Do you want to ride home?" Because he's got his little fancy town car, and she was like, "No," and he's like, "Do you want cab fare?" And she's like, "No," and she kind of put up the boundary, even though she knows in her heart she's not over him, but she knows to continue that process of getting over him, she can't agree to go in the car with him. Yeah. Or even take like money from him for cab fare.
That's a good point.
So that was some growth on her part.
That's true, because if this was season 1, like
she would have hopped in that car.
She would have been in that car. She probably would have been like, "Hey, do you want to take me home?" Not
right.
She would have been like, "Hey, you should take me home."
And you know what's funny though is when she said, "I'll come to the party." He said, "Oh, I might stop by later." I went, "Oh no, this is going to be another one of those things where he shows up at like 4 a.m. and she's been outside the whole time." And like, this is like the 8th time they've done this, but he actually showed up at like a reasonable hour at the party.
Yeah.
That's growth for him too.
Right. No, I you know what? That's funny because I thought the same thing when he said that. I was like, "Oh, he's gonna do that party bullshit."
I was like, he's gonna do that bullshit.
At 2 a.m, he's gonna call like, "Hey, are you still out?" Like,
yeah, be like, "Oh, you up?"
That's true though. He has grown. He didn't do that. But I think, because you know what? I think part of it is also too, like, you know, again, I don't want to give him points, but I think he's being very vulnerable right now. You know?
Yeah,
I think
he's in a
place of still hurt by her as well. You know,
because she's the one who broke it off,
right? And so, if nothing else, at least his ego is bruised. But I also think his emotions got hurt too. I think he actually, because like, he wasn't in a place to say "I love you" yet, but I think he had strong feelings for her. He was time. He was letting it get built, and she just kind of was like, "I need this right now."
Yeah, they were on 2 different timelines that were not syncing up. Yeah. Right. And then we had to talk about Charlotte and the dog. Hey, Charlotte, maybe the dog wouldn't have torn your bedroom apart if you'd like let it walk around the apartment. It looked like she kept that thing locked in her bedroom the whole time. Yeah. Which is confusing because it shit all over the floor and then somehow was like also locked in the bedroom. I don't know. It didn't make sense.
That was the one in the hallway was like the grossest dog.
It was a nasty
show I've ever seen. Like that looked disgusting.
So gross.
I've never seen a turd look like that, but if I ever did, that dog is gone. I love you. You're going back to the pound. I can't do it.
Well, and also I'm like, you know, I'm surprised Charlotte didn't go to like classes with the dog. Like clearly it needed obedience training, and she was like just fussing over it and not doing anything useful.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
It was also kind of funny because low key how they had this relationship between her and the dog was really funny, because it was low key kind of making fun of, I guess, lonely people who like get dogs as a way, or get pets as a way to, you know, mask their loneliness. But at the same time,
are you calling my cat my boyfriend?
No. I am simply saying it was just
funny. There are people,
No, well, that I don't think that's necessarily. I mean, that may be in the part of the joke that they were making fun of, but also it's funny to me is just the fact that like she would kind of behavior that she had with the dog is the same behavior that she puts into her physical, like man relationship.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
it
yeah.
turned out the same way. It's like
The dog's a freak.
not a pattern. Like
yeah.
the reason this dog is acting out is because something else that you're doing as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying that dogs ain't gonna be dogs and dogs are dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
training, but like the expectations that she put into this dog, like
were so intense.
It was intense. Like she expected him to be trained. Like when she had this dog for a week, and she expected him to be trained as if he had been, fucking police dog for years or some shit like that. Yeah. It was wild, and it was funny too how Carrie was comparing her to like oh, he's like unreliable and emotionally distant, won't behave, like just like the men in her life. I was like, well, yeah, I guess so.
I know. I do love having pets though, and I'm so glad I got the cat when I did.
No, it's nothing. No. Pets are amazing. It's literally been scientifically proven that people live longer than people without pets. So it's nothing weird about that.
It was
cats, then we'll talk.
You get I love my cat.
No. You don't got one, but if you get like 8 more, I'm gonna have to talk to you. Like,
no, are you kidding me? I took him to the vet like last year for his like checkup, and he meowed in the car because he was scared, and I was like, I'm in tears. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get you checked out. And now it's so hard because of COVID. They just come and take your pet out of the car, so you just have to sit in the car and wait. Like you can't be in the room and like pet it or offer it like any comfort. So I was like trying to not be in absolute tears, and I was like, I violated our trust. Oh my god. And then moving him here, I felt so bad. I had to bring him first and lock him in the bathroom for most of the day, even with all his stuff and everything. But I just it was breaking my heart because I knew he was like so scary, and I was like, my baby. But I did it like
more dangerous to have him roaming around.
Oh my god, yeah, no, there's no way you can't let him wander around. Especially he's a very indoor cat.
Right.
And you can't. I saw this hilarious TikTok of this woman, and her cat was like trying to go outside. She was like, we live in the hood. Those are hood cats out there. They're not vaccinated. I don't know what they have. You can't go out there.
Also, hood cats will fuck you up. Domesticated, like been drinking milk out of a saucer for the last few years of your life. You better stop it.
We just spotted a big, I don't know if it's somebody's pet. I don't think it is, but it was a big tomcat this morning because my cat meowed in the window. And I was like, what? And I was like, oh, that's a big cat down there.
Provoke him, maybe leave him alone.
Yeah, I was like, we're gonna stay up here.
It'll draw attention for him to come at you.
Yeah.
I don't know how easy it is to break up a cafe, but I imagine it's probably painful. You know what I mean?
It's good.
Clawing and biting and things of that nature.
If he wasn't so, I'm so tempted to get him a kitten, but I don't have the time or patience right now to get a kitten.
Yeah.
One cat's plenty.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. You had this one since he was a kid, right?
No, my cousin had him in Louisiana when she was in school. She actually rescued him off the street. I think there was like flooding, and like I don't know if the mom cat ran away and like left the litter behind, which is not which happens sometimes. Mm-hmm. Or if someone like left them, I think they were in a car engine or something.
Oh.
But it was him and his litter, siblings, and so she kept him and got the other ones adopted, and then she was moving back here to Los Angeles with my aunt and uncle, and they were like, we really don't want a cat right now, and I was like, oh, I can foster him, and it's permanent.
Every story I've ever heard of anybody like, oh, I'm gonna foster this dog, like 9 times out of 10 they end up like keeping the whatever fostering because they fall in love with them, and then the pet falls in love with them as well, and then like the idea of giving them up just seems radical. No,
he's my buddy, so we're
that's also like one of those things where, like you see women who are surrogate mothers, like that has to be the wildest thing. You know what I mean? Because like you just had a baby grow inside you, and now you're like, here it is, take it away.
It's why they tend to have people who have already had kids. One, because they can successfully carry a kid.
Yeah.
And two, I don't know, but I feel like that would help if like you already have your own kid. You won't
Yeah,
feel as like maybe I want to keep
yeah, maybe.
the one. I don't
I'm sure
know.
there's probably like counseling sessions and all that
Oh
stuff,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
in between and stuff like that. But still,
Mm-hmm.
it's gotta be hard, bro. It's gotta be hard.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Yeah,
uh,
like I'm gonna delete like half of that because we are way off topic.
oh, it doesn't matter. No, leave it in. Leave it in. Who gives a shit?
No, I told you I have to start editing these. Uh, but yeah, so this was a fun one.
Yeah, I think it was good. It was
Despite the very clearly abused woman.
yeah.
It's so funny because like so much of the rest of the episode is like really fun and light, and then like there's this really dark undercurrent with her relationship.
That they're trying to play off as light, and it's not. Like
it's not. It's so
maybe,
horrible.
Maybe if we watched this in 1999 when it came out, maybe we wouldn't feel this way. But like in 2020, watching this, it's like, ooh, no.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god.
Like, get this woman some counseling so she can get away from this asshole. Like,
yeah,
they're not good together, or he's not good for anyone. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? She should, if he's gonna be that much of a douchebag, then he needs to be with a woman that's like equally as like aggressive, and then she'd be like, "Go fuck yourself." But
I think they tried to kind of imply that she like could stand up to him and be like in the fight, but I was like, I don't know, whisper calling to your friend after the fight, and then he like, and then rushing off the phone. No,
I mean,
so
she did
weird.
try to stand up to him whenever he was kicking Carrie out. He was like, she was like, "You don't have to go," but like, it wasn't. I don't think it was a. To me, it didn't seem like a. Like, you don't have to go. Fuck him. It was like, please don't go.
Like, please don't leave.
Yeah, like, if you leave me alone with him, I don't know what he might do.
Yeah,
that's what it was, more like a pleading than like a confrontation, you know. And that's that again. They were still trying to play that as lighthearted, but I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, they were trying to play, Carrie's being uncomfortable as the lightheartedness of the situation, but like none of it was funny.
not really.
I wasn't laughing at all. I wasn't like, oh, it's so cute. Like, I was like,
that's hilarious. That
like,
he's probably
not, not being a good friend. Like, what you should do is, as you're leaving, grab her hand and be like, "You're coming with me."
You're coming with me. Yeah. At least Carrie let her crash at her apartment, though. That was nice.
For one night, but she also let her go back to him. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
there is that you can try though. Sometimes there is only so much you can do when someone's gonna do that kind of thing. Go back and you're like, but then,
and you also too like, I feel like, at least it was maybe just implied, but I feel like this probably isn't the first time that she's had this situation with this woman, that this friend, like, it's probably been several times over the years where she's like, I should leave him, let me, or tries to attempt, and then she's like, all right, I'm there for you, and then like she goes right back to him. Like, there's no way that this is the first time she ever thought I should leave him, and then tried it and then went back. It's probably at least 2 or 3 times before. So, part of her was probably just like, what can I do? You know what I mean? I can tell her that this guy's a piece of shit and she should leave him, but she's gonna do what she wants to do anyway because she's a grown ass woman, and well, hopefully the core women don't get into anything like that, because I also feel like this woman wasn't necessarily like one of Carrie's.
Oh, we never see her again.
Yeah,
as with so many friends of Carrie's that we meet,
like the rich girl that was that she ran into in season 1. Like that. That was a casual friend, like a mother.
Yeah. Which rich friend? The one who married like the old
like dates guys with rich, they only dates like rich guys. And she
like
their rich guy circle and kind of things.
Oh yeah, the like probably like high end call girl situation. Yes, and then there's the pregnant friend.
Right.
We never see her again. How good a friend is she really with these people?
That's what I mean. That's probably another reason why she was just kind of like, all right, you want to go back, whatever. Like,
I don't know you that well, so I'm not going to get involved.
Yeah, it's like, I don't really fuck with you like that. So, if you want to be with a guy who treats you like shit, do your thing. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. What can you do?
Well, what you can do Just keep listening to the show. Hey.
Yeah.
Chris, where can they find you on the internets?
You can find me at Mack Diddy Combs. That's MackDiddyCombs on all platforms: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Venmo, PayPal. Any of those that you want to visit, you can find me there.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Elizabeth Movies. I have a different Venmo, but if you would like to Venmo me, go ahead and get a hold of me because I really need to buy some furniture.
Yeah, and also too, people who are out there listening, if you are gonna Venmo us, actually Venmo us. Don't like request money and try to be cheeky because that shit ain't cute. I've
Has that happened to you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh dear.
It's cute, but it ain't funny because I'm gonna decline that shit real quick.
Yeah, no kidding.
So you send me some shit or leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, and it could be like $5. Hook me up. Anyway,
also, like if you guys want to send us like like any kind of like T-shirts or like a book or something that you like, whatever. I like gifts all around.
I just like stuff.
I just like stuff, especially if it's free. So it's amazing.
And then you can find the show again. The easiest is to go to Instagram at Show Me What Podcast, and that it will take you to all the other portals. Because we're on Facebook at Show Me What Podcast, or on Twitter at S What Podcast, and S and W are capitalized.
Yes.
Oh, that was the easiest way I've ever explained that, I think. I finally got it. What, 2 seasons in? Hell yeah. Woo!
Listen, you gotta build it. That's all. We're just building it.
You gotta get the rhythm.
Grow as we go along. So we're growing with us. It's all good. Oh, also be sure if you're into nice smelling your candles, go to Arlo Australia, Arlo_Australia on Instagram. Say ARLO_Australia. My friend is doing candles 3 for $30. They're 100% non-GMO soy wax, lead-free wicks, and ethically sourced. So all her fragrances and the oils and everything like that come straight from Australia, and they smell amazing. I'm not lying to you when I say this. I got one burning in the crib right now. Tastes like, smells like Christmas cookies. So if you like that smell and you want that around your house, she got smells like that. She got fruit smells. She got all kinds of things going on. 3 for $30. They're slow burning and they're gonna last you at least 2 months each candle. So like really you're getting 6 months for $30. It's kind of amazing.
There you go.
Make sure you go Arlo_Australia on Instagram.
And we'll have their Etsy link in all our show information too.
Correct. Cool.
Well, until next time.
Until next time. Keep listening. Keep watching. Bye-bye.